Hello students, this is USA Citizenship, page 10. Chapter 5, History, the 1800s. The 1800s means from the year 1800 to the year 1900. I will talk about the major things that happened in the 100 years between 1800 and 1900. You need page 10 and a pen or pencil. Here are the words you will learn on this video. All the pages are available on my website at this link. Ready? In the last video, the United States became an independent country. Remember? The 13 colonies became the 13 original states. Here's a better map. So, by 1800, the United States was only here. It looked something like this. The land here in the West did not belong to the United States. Let's go back in time. Remember this map? People from Europe came to live in America. England, France, Spain. This was 200 years or so before the War of Independence. France was one of these countries. So France had this whole middle section of North America. England, or Great Britain, had only this part, and Spain had here and down in South America. So back to our map. In 1800, we have the new United States, and this was called the Louisiana Territory. France owned this. Territory means land. It means land that belongs to someone. So this land belonged to France. The United States wanted this land. So this is what we did. In 1803, we bought the land from France. The United States bought the Louisiana Territory from France. Do you recognize him? That's Thomas Jefferson. He was our third president. He was president when the United States bought the Louisiana Territory. It was a very good deal for the United States. Look at your paper. In 1803, the United States bought the Louisiana Territory from France. Say Louisiana. Say, in 1803, the United States bought the Louisiana Territory from France. Pause the video and write Louisiana. Territory is land that belongs to somebody. Say land. Pause the video and write land. The 1800s were all about territorial expansion. This just means getting more land. The Americans, the people in the United States, lived mostly here. They believed that all this land should belong to them. And one way they got this land was by buying the Louisiana Territory. Look at your paper. The United States grew, got bigger, through territorial expansion. Say territorial expansion. Pause the video and write expansion. Again, expansion just means getting bigger. Americans moved west. Here's a picture of what things looked like. They went west in wagons. This is before cars, of course, or airplanes, even before trains got out west. Remember the American Indians who lived here for thousands of years? Most American Indians died from disease or war, or they were pushed off their land. This is a very sad part of our history. The United States also fought wars over territory. For example, after the Mexican War, the United States got most of what is now Texas, California, and other western states. The citizenship test will ask you to name one war in the 1800s. Do not answer with Indian Wars. This describes fighting with the American Indians in many places over many years. But these three wars are the War of 1812, the Spanish-American War, the Mexican War. But there is one war which was bigger for the United States than any other, and that war is the Civil War. The United States almost fell apart. Over 620,000 people died. The Civil War was between the North and the South. The South, the states in the South, Georgia included, our state, voted to leave the United States. They wanted to be a separate country. The states in the North wanted to keep the United States together. So, war began. Look at your paper. The United States fought in several wars in the 1800s. The Civil War was the war between the North and the South. Say Civil War. Say the sentence. The Civil War was the war between the North and the South. Pause the video and write Civil War. Civil War was the war between the North and the South. But why? Why did the states in the South want to be separated from the United States? Why did we fight this war? The problem that led to the Civil War was slavery. Remember that African people did not choose to come here? Millions of Africans were forced to come to North and South America as slaves. Slaves are people who were owned and controlled by other people. By this time, most people in the northern United States believed slavery was wrong, that it was evil. But in the South, people made most of their money by farming. They used enslaved Africans, about 4 million of them, to work on farms. Farms are large areas of land for food or other plants like cotton or tobacco. It takes a lot of people to work a farm. Look at your paper. The problem that led to the Civil War was slavery. Say slavery. Say the sentence, the problem that led to the Civil War was slavery. Pause the video and write slavery. Led to, in this sentence, led to means caused. You could say the problem that caused the Civil War. The North believed slavery should not be legal. The South wanted to be a separate country so that they could keep slavery. The South used enslaved Africans, or slaves, to work on farms. Say farms. Pause the video and write the word farms. Remember that a farm is a large area of land. People would raise animals and grow plants to sell. The president during the Civil War was Abraham Lincoln. He is one of the best U.S. presidents. He wanted to keep the North and the South together. Very sadly, he was killed right at the end of the war by a man with a gun. So he was only president for 4 years. He was killed while he was president. Look at your paper. Abraham Lincoln was president during the Civil War. Say Abraham Lincoln. Say Abraham Lincoln was president during the Civil War. Pause the video and write Abraham Lincoln. Why was Abraham Lincoln so important? Abraham Lincoln led the United States during the Civil War. Here, led means he was the leader of. He freed the slaves. That means he made slavery illegal or not legal, including in the South. He signed a paper called the Emancipation Proclamation. Emancipation means freedom. Proclamation is a paper for everyone to read. He saved the Union. He saved the United States. This means that he kept the country together. Remember, the South wanted to leave the country. Abraham Lincoln helped save the Union. Look at your paper. Abraham Lincoln led the United States during the war. Say led the United States during the war. Pause the video and write led. He also freed the slaves with the Emancipation Proclamation. Say Emancipation Proclamation. Say he freed the slaves with the Emancipation Proclamation. Pause the video and write Emancipation Proclamation. Abraham Lincoln saved the Union. The North won the Civil War. Pause the video and write saved. So remember, the North won the Civil War. The war was between the North and the South. At the end of the war, the Southern states became part of the Union, or the United States, again. And our country became one country again. One last thing. Women's rights. Women were not allowed to vote. Women did not have the same rights as men, so women began fighting for their rights. Susan B. Anthony was a leader in this. Susan B. Anthony worked for women's rights. Look at your paper. Susan B. Anthony fought for women's rights. She helped women gain the right to vote. Say women's rights. Say Susan B. Anthony fought for women's rights. Pause the video and write women's rights. Time for review. Remember, you can pause the video and study the questions. What territory did the U.S. buy from France in 1803? Louisiana. Number 2. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. Civil War, War of 1812, Mexican War, Spanish-American War. Remember the Civil War. That's the most important one. Number 3, name the U.S. war between the North and the South. The Civil War. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. Slavery. Number 5, who was president during the Civil War? Abraham Lincoln. Number 6, what was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? You could answer with one of 3 things. He led the U.S. during the Civil War. He freed the slaves. He saved the Union. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? Freed the slaves. Number 8, what did Susan B. Anthony do? She fought for women's rights. This is the end of page 10 and the end of chapter 5. The next video will be USA Citizenship, chapter 6, page 11. Thank you for watching.